Good morning
That's,
from India, Dr. Michael Jenkins, sir, and Tomiko Duggan, madam.
thank you.
It's an honor to have you with us tonight. This is India. In India, it's evening time here.
Very good.
And let me introduce to our audience about our guest, Dr. Michael Jenkins, sir. Dr. Michael Jenkins is chairman of Universal Peace Federation, North America, and also the chairman, the Washington Times Holding LLC owners of the Washington Times. He is the director of the Northeast Asia Peace Initiative and the Middle East Peace Initiative, which have worked since 1980s on conflict resolution projects on the Pacific Rim in Israel and Palestine. Dr. Jenkins frequently appears as a speaker, moderator, and organizer at UPF conferences and events held in cooperation with the Washington Times, especially those focused on religious liberty and global peace initiative. So it's an honor to have you with us, Dr. Jenkins.
Dr. Choudhary, I'm honored to be with you, and also Dr. Tomiko Duggan, who is the global coordinator for the International Association for Peace and Development worldwide. We are very honored to be with you, Dr. Choudhary, from the Delhi University, a prestigious professor, thought leader in India and around the world. We appreciated so much your coming to Korea and also coming to the United States to help bring the message and also the cooperation for peace.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. Sir, my first question to you is that Dr. Jenkins, from your perspective, what are the key social, psychological, and cultural factors driving some youth today toward crime, drug abuse, violence, fanaticism, and self-destructive behaviors?
Well, I think the most serious issue facing all cultures and throughout the world with young people is the fact that people are so deeply involved with social media.
Yes.
And that engagement with social media is very entertaining. It's very, sometimes it really helps people to, learn many new things. But also what we find, it isolates people from relationships.
Yes.
They're not developing personal relationships the way we normally would. And people also become depressed and very, very separated from interpersonal relations. And also social media has no moral compass. The moral compass is so important that there is right and wrong in India. There is right and wrong in Europe, in Africa, in Asia, in the Americas. Right and wrong is very, very fundamental, and it's also connected with the underpinning of the religious culture. Like in India, you have Hinduism, and you also have various world religions that are there. And that underpinning of religious values is very, very important for the society to have a view of working together, of respecting others. Therefore, when the founding of the United States occurred, the founders put various Bill of Rights, they call it, that they put in the Constitution. The right for freedom of speech, the right to assemble, the right to, express your concerns. But the founders said something that was very, very important. This principle of the Bill of Rights of the United States Constitution only works for a religious foundation, only works for a country that has a religious foundation. And that is so critical. Without a religious foundation, then those values of respecting all races, respecting elders, respecting people who are of all different economic standards, and loving people, love for all people, we cannot be supported. And social media doesn't have a standard there. Of course, there are many good social media platforms that are doing just the right things to help people see the values of loving all races, loving all people. and it's so open to learning about Dr. Martin Luther King or Mahatma Gandhi, or, those things changed my life. Learning about Gandhi and the incredible Phoenix project he had in practitioner of higher values and the greatest values of the Hindu tradition. That's why I think young people are alienated. And then on top of that, there is ill motives on social media to make money or sometimes to influence culture or to damage culture. So that's number one for me, the social media and the fact that it also does not hold up religious values across the platforms of social media. So that's what we're concerned about. That's why in our peace conferences, we always have religious leaders there. We're the first that really saw that political leaders from all backgrounds, whether they're heads of state or parliamentarians or governors, they should convene together and do the practical dialogue and discussion for our nations to come together, but only when it's combined with religious values. That's why we always have the faith leaders join in. At first, when we did that, Tomiko was one of the leaders that organized those world summits. And, when we first brought them together with the religious leaders, many of the heads of state and others wondered, why would we bring religious leaders into a discussion about political things? Well, because the foundation of good politics has to be connected with the values of respecting all nations, races, and people.
Excellent examples given by you, and the excellent answers, sir, highlighting the need of getting together with each other or the family, like you mentioned in your interview, that the loneliness kills people at large. So the need is to have a good family connections, and then you added the religious values. I mean, the thought leaders and religious leaders who can also help youth to become a good and responsible citizen of the world. Thank you, sir. My second question to you is, how do you view the role of families, education system, media, and digital platform in either contributing to or helping prevent these narrative trends among youth?
Well, I really feel that the family component of
Yes.
youth education and the youth having good lives and responsible lives was the second point I was going to make, but I didn't want to go on too long about what I saw as the psychological and social factors driving some youth to crime. But I think the second most important factor, other than the foundation of values in society, is family. Family is really the very center of our upbringing and our value system. And that's why religion and family go hand in hand. But we find the breakdown of the family, again, through the promotion of false understanding of freedom. Often freedom is promoted as the highest value. But freedom that is centered on my benefit and not the benefit of the whole is not true freedom. Actually, freedom to do whatever one individual wants is not freedom. Freedom to choose to have different lifestyles. Okay, we can respect that people make their own choices. But when you promote that as the highest value, freedom to be whatever I want to be, freedom to be a drug addict, freedom to choose to not go to school, freedom to rebel against society, that's not true freedom. That is freedom that is actually destructive. And it's license, not really freedom. It's a license. It's a licentiousness. And family values is where that actually can come together on a deeper level. So family is so critically important because the laws and rules and regulations, they're very, very fundamental. They're very, very important, those values. But the most powerful value on earth is heart and love. So a mother can keep their children from going out with the wrong young people more than having rules. Don't go out with the bad people. A mother and family who really has bonded with the young people's hearts. They feel a conscience. They feel some kind of uh, indebtedness in love to their family. They don't want to hurt their family. And because of the family breakdown, that is also another real reason why there's been so much problem around the world with youth actually destroying themselves or going the wrong direction. Now, there's other youth that overcome all that, but the reality is good families, also with good values in society, with a good understanding of religious values, then there's much more power to keep the young people to be true freedom. I'm freedom to love people, freedom to grow in intellect, go to university and get the highest level of education. That freedom is so incredibly important. But if we choose the wrong freedom, to just go in the direction of substance abuse or all kinds of self-centered things or different kind of addictions, what does that do to your freedom to go to the university? What does that do to the freedom to become a medical doctor or to become a governor or mayor? Or it destroys your freedom. It looks like freedom, but it's not. It destroys your true freedom to become a complete and happy person. So family is the essence of happiness. And that's why the second step for family is not just to grow up in a family, but to make your own family with your wife and husband. That's the most beautiful thing there is in the whole creation. Everything's made in pairs, male and female. Everything's made in pairs. It's beautiful system. So that's what I feel families are so important. And educational systems, they're very dangerous when you get the wrong leadership. You get the wrong leadership where people feel like, well, we have to make sure that the school really, lifts up other kinds of family values, other kinds of preferences, which are not really values based on faith or family. They're actually preferences, or there's self-centered orientations, and that destroys education also. What happens there is we find that the educational systems and the media influence to try to make money from media actually does not want to uphold the values. They feel, well, that's everybody else's choice. But if a sensational, tragic thing happens, or a story of people choosing a free life with no loyalty to their wife or husband, media loves those sensational stories of Bollywood, and also about the actors and actresses and that kind of thing, who often have very sad lives. Many of them are very good too, but many have very sad lives because family is not really easily accomplished in that area. But media often promotes not promotes it, but makes a lot of money by sensational, shocking stories. So that's why at the Washington Times we're very careful. We have 3 values that guide the newspaper. That is, first, freedom. Like we talked about, freedom based on values and principles that are good for all people. And then also, family is the next value. So you hit it perfectly with your questions. And the third value of the Washington Times is faith. So freedom, family, and faith. And sometimes we add to that citizenship, because we should be good citizens in our country, making our country better. We should live for our country. So that's why I think that those role of families, and also education system, media, and digital platforms, they must be guided by the owners of those media, and also those people elected to be in the Department of Education or the Minister of Education for our country. They have to be people that have those values. So we should be very careful to elect the kind of administration in every country that share those values. That good family, faithfulness in marriage is a very important condition. Also, loving all races, loving all nations, loving all people, and striving to be the best. whether it's in sports or in any field. And that's why we find sometimes, even in sports, there's such a misdirection towards thinking that you're allowing people who chose to be, a different gender than they were born with, to compete in sports where physically the other competitors are not as big as the people who were born as the male gender. They're not as big, and so they can't beat them. And so when those people choose to be, change their gender, and then they want to have the right as a right of freedom to go into women's sports, we have no problem if they want to choose their own gender. We don't think that's the right thing, but that people are free to choose that. But to force society to say that they must have their place because they believe that they're a woman, but they're 6'4" and 250 pounds, and the biggest woman is 5'10" and 150 pounds. It's no way. It's not freedom. And that's why the skewing of these values, we believe, is actually, Dr. Choudhary, is one of the most essential issues to tackle. So I'm glad you're hosting this program.
Thank you, Dr. Michael Jenkins. You have highlighted the very important points, like giving examples of family values, like mother and the role of mother and father both as a parents, and then the school, then the media, then the cinema. They all play an important role to inspire the youth. So thank you so much for this wonderful answer, sir. My next and the last question is, as a global peace leader, what message would you like to share with young people to inspire them to become responsible, caring, and constructive citizens of the world?
Well, I would like to first turn this over to Dr. Tomiko Duggan to answer that question. Then I'll answer second, because she's also my advisor and key leader in the world for bringing people together of all families and faiths.
Yes, we welcomed Tomiko Duggan, madam.
Yes, thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm just really learning for what Dr. Jenkins has described. And one thing I learned through the program, it's called Religious Youth Service Program. And young people from age of 19 to 25, we visited Abrahamic faith leaders, temples and synagogue and churches. And then each one, young people have had their own struggles, what life they can be guided for. So by visiting those temples of basic religious faith, so we learned a lot from each religious leaders. Each one, we found lots of common ground. Every one of us want to be happy. Every one of us want to live in a peaceful world. And so through this mingling and the intercounting with different faith leaders, I would like to encourage young people to have such opportunities. And then we provided a service project. We asked DC government and other Maryland government to provide us some opportunities that they can do service projects together with the government, institutions. That was a very, very great opportunity to get to know young people coming from different cultures, different races, different nationalities. So I like to really encourage young people to have some kind of service project, and then in addition to visit different faith communities.
Thank you, madam.
I would like to share, thank you, Dr. Tomiko, that's great. I'd like to share also, Dr. Choudhary.
Yes, sir.
I think your life is an example also. As a young person, you disciplined yourself and made a wonderful family, and also you sacrificed. So the one thing I want to encourage young people to think, whether you go to the university or not, that is not the key thing. The key thing is if you make yourself very strong on the values of respect and love for all people. Learn from Gandhi, learn from Dr. Martin Luther King. And if you do like Tomiko was saying, take those religious values in your community and serve people, love people, bring food to those who don't have food, or help people that are elderly, or help young people come together and stay away from the groups that are hurting people. The sky is the limit. There's no limitation to what you can achieve as a young person, but always keep your mind on going up, up, up. So that you must have a family. You must have a family for that support. Because otherwise, without family, your heart doesn't just develop the same way. Of course, people can become beautiful people as single people, and they can contribute greatly to the world. But that's not the way that the majority of the world can go. To become young people that really succeed, you need to have values and learn them from Gandhi and King and from your religious traditions. Learn those values and practice them. Serve. Do things for others, not just talk. Do things. And then second, find the love of your life. We believe that the universe prepares a person for each person. In other words, each young man, there's some lady that's being prepared to come together with you. And also, in the terms of a lady, there's some young man that's being prepared for you. And many times our families introduce us to those people. They even match us to the people. That is also proven to be more successful than people just finding somebody at random. But still, we believe beyond our parents are very clear, but beyond our parents, there's a universal power. Just like the sun, it has the earth spinning around it. We don't control that. It's working. The sun is spinning around the earth. And the point is, we don't control that. We didn't make that happen. So those are universal laws and principles. We have to adjust to how the sun rises and how it works and how it, helps us grow the crops and do everything. We have to adjust to the universal principles, but there's also universal principles, just like the moon orbits around the earth. What holds the moon in that orbit? Why doesn't it just go off someplace else? Because there's certain principles and laws in the universe, and those things are also true for family. There's somebody out there for each person that's, supposed to revolve around you and you around them. The husband and wife should revolve around each other. And then when they have children, the children should revolve around the parents. They should really have the parents as the center, and then they go to make their own family. It's a beautiful thing. There's no limitation for young people. Education is important. Go as high as you can, but that's not the limitation. The real limit is your heart and understanding of the universal principles. So we really believe that all aspects of young people, from whatever kind of family background, they can become super complete or fulfilled as people of happiness, of love, of loyalty. And then sometimes somebody who was just simply working in the agricultural industry becomes a business owner and becomes, a great leader for society. Or somebody working in the fishing area, they become such a good person, but then their son goes to university and becomes the top medical expert in the world on solving cancer. That's why there's no limit. So you're not only trying to achieve for yourself, I want to be the greatest person in the whole world. Well, that's great. But, nobody can be the greatest person in the whole world. They can become great in different areas, but we're meant to help cultivate the young people. The young people are really where miracles can happen. And even all of our AI and all these things that are going on, that has very good elements to it. But most of that development came from young people. That's why it's so important to youth to find those values and to have elders like you, Dr. Choudhary and Dr. Tomiko, that can guide them, that can be an example for them. That's why we have to influence the media. We have to help the media. Tomiko used to be one of the head leaders of the World Media Association.
Yeah.
And because of that, we did the same thing that we're talking about with young people. Bring those values, universal values, exist for media. It's not okay to lie. Media people know that. If you lie, your media property will finally be destroyed. Once it's uncovered that your media has been lying or, making false stories, then that media group can really suffer greatly. They lose their credibility. And even giant corporations, once they're caught in a lie that they didn't do what was right and they claim they were doing something else, it can damage the whole structure can be hurt from just not being honest. So that's why honesty and truth and love are critical values.
Yes, sir. So thank you, Dr. Michael Jenkins, sir, and Tomiko
I hope
Duggan.
this is good for you.
Tomiko Duggan, madam, for your precious time and wise word of wisdom. And I'm sure the listeners, the audience, and the youth all around the world will be benefited from your words and wisdom, sir. Thank you for being with us tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Yes.
See you soon.
Oh,
Thank
we
you.
really love you. Thank you, Dr. Choudhary.
God
Thank
bless
you.
you.
Great. I never forget our time in Las Vegas together.
Same, yes, sir. It's an honor to be with you and Tomiko Duggan, madam.